Hey guys, welcome to the Empirical Journey, where we do an analysis of a wide range of videos from across multiple social media platforms. Our primary focus is usually red pill, manosphere, passport bro type content, especially videos on TikTok. However, we will shift our focus from time to time when things happen, especially when they're important current events. We did a reaction of a few TikTok videos yesterday regarding to the Charlie Kirk assassination, and I was just going to do one video, but I did come across a few more that I just want to put out there into the public. I want people to see them. I want them to be public knowledge, and I want to react to some of the things being said. So let's get into this one. This video is from Fazanaz. I don't know if I'm saying this correctly. This guy will read the description. Probably going to delete this later, but you only live once. Yes, you do. Selective empathy is bad. You can mourn Charlie Kirk. Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you for giving us permission, oh grateful leftist, for giving us permission to mourn. Oh, that's so omnipotent and amazing of you. Long as you mourn the victims of Palestine. And we can get into a broader discussion. So we have to mourn the victims of Palestine. And I do. Any loss of life is tragic. And we won't get into the politics of that conflict and what's going on. We mourn school shootings, gang violence. Yes, you can mourn all these things. You can discuss these things and talk about how bad they are. If anyone is guilty of selective empathy, it's definitely the left. I can make a lot of assumptions about what he means in this description, but let's just listen to his own words. Let's get into the video. Let's see what Fazanaz has to say about this. Here we go.
I would never post anything political. I would stick to fashion and tech and promoting my own work, but I have a bad habit of losing my filter, so fuck it. Charlie Kirk did not deserve to die, but that does not mean that he deserves to be looked at as some sort of martyr. I went to high school in Texas.
I said I wasn't going to pause too often, but here we are 13 seconds in. In every single one of these videos, they seem to say something like Charlie Kirk does not deserve to die or did not deserve to get shot, but. And then they pretty much go on to lay out exactly why he deserved to be shot or to die or unalived. In every single one of these videos, they say something along the lines of Charlie Kirk did not deserve to be unalived, but. And then they go into a long diatribe of exactly why they feel he did deserve it. It's hypocritical. They talk about selective empathy. His whole description is about selective empathy. You're allowed to be sad for it, but let's get through a little bit more.
A lot of people from my high school posting on their stories talking about he was just this good guy that was just sharing his opinion and promoting healthy discourse on college campuses. No, he wasn't. Charlie Kirk was a genuinely hateful person. He had racist, sexist, xenophobic, anti-abortion, pro-gun violence views that he would go around to college campuses and promote. And even if you align with these views, that's okay. You have to at least admit that he was kind of a dickhead about how he would champion them. That was his whole...
So there really is a lot to unpack there in a very short amount of time. He said he isn't a martyr. A martyr is a person who is killed for their religious or other beliefs, could be political. He most certainly 100% meets the definition of a martyr. You may not like it. You may be opposed to it, but that is precisely what it is. That's what the situation is. He is a martyr. He was martyred for his beliefs. And he was a good family man. I'm glad you point that out. I'm glad everyone else points that out. You know, he was a father. He had 2 children. That is important to point out. It's not the main reason that people are making posts because of the children, but it's a much deeper issue with what's going on in the country. But he was a good family man, and he promoted discourse. Discourse is nasty. There's no way you can discuss these things and tie it up with little rainbow bows and sparkles and unicorns and puppy dogs. Discourse is what it is. It's discourse. And sometimes it gets nasty. Sometimes the back and forth. There can be a lot of vitriol coming from both sides. When we're discussing these hot button topics, the discourse around it can get rough, and that's what he engaged in. I'm sorry the things he said hurt your fifis, but we can't shoot someone because they engage in discourse and they say things that you disagree with. We can't say, oh, no one should be shot, but he had all these really bad ideas. Let's go through the list. You called him a racist, a sexist, he's xenophobic. Those are the first 3. I guess he's racist because he discussed issues in inner cities and with gang violence. He's sexist because he believes in the sanctity of life and did not approve of abortion for any situation. I know this made people very angry. He was xenophobic because he didn't believe in open borders. These are opinions, and calling him these names does not defeat the argument. That's why you guys are losing, and that's why they had to unalive him, because they had to shut him up one way or another. The traditional way of shutting people up, calling them racist, sexist, xenophobic, these are all tactics that the left has used for a very long time. They're not going to work anymore. They're dead. They're done. That's over with. He called him anti-abortion, which is true. He was anti-abortion. That's okay. You're really missing the mark here, Fazazanaz. And he said he's pro-gun violence, which is so dishonest. He was not pro-gun violence. He was pro-Second Amendment. He believed in our God-given right to defend ourselves. That is not the same thing as pro-gun violence. If you can't see the issue in the blatant lies regarding these situations, calling people these names, and then saying he's pro-gun violence, so that's why he deserved to be unalive, which is basically what you're saying. That's what this video is saying. Let's continue on. We're 38 seconds in. I probably stopped too much, but let's see what else Fazizi has to say.
Whole thing, that's how he made a career, and that's fine. It does not mean that he deserved to be killed. In the same way that being a husband and father does not mean that you are absolved of all of your wrongdoings.
Who's saying that?
Every bad person in history had a family. Every good person that dies has a family. It's fine if that's your reasoning for empathizing with somebody, but that means that your empathy should not be restricted to only somebody that you align with. If you mourn somebody's death because
no one is solely and only empathizing with him because he was a father and had 2 children. We're calling out the tragedy that a wife, a mother will no longer, and his 2 young children will never hear his voice again. They'll never know his touch again. Sure, we're calling out that tragedy, but we're sad for this country, for what the greater implications are for us as a nation, what this means. And if you can't see that, you're blind.
they had a family and they were innocent, that is completely human, and that empathy should extend to everybody. But when you conflate that empathy by making shit up about who a person was or what they died doing,
this is exactly what he's doing right now.
Political, and that's the whole problem. Empathy is a natural human reaction,
okay,
especially
pot.
to something like death. There shouldn't even really be a debate about whether or not somebody deserves empathy, because everyone should believe that everyone deserves it.
He's saying just a bunch of nonsense now.
Your empathy, that's when you have to ask yourself, are you sad that this person died, or are you sad that the version of this person that propagates your worldview is now gone?
There's a million people that propagates my worldview, and a million more people will pick up his torch. Sure, Charlie Kirk was unique. He was one of a kind. There'll never be another Charlie Kirk. His ability to debate, his sharpness, his quickness, his ability to retain and to grab so many different facts about such a broad range of topics. It was truly unique, and he was truly a good man. And this person is just, hopefully they're just lost and they aren't what I think they are. They're all justifying it. That's all this is. You're justifying his assassination because he said things you disagree with. That's it. That's the only reason. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. We'll do more of these reactions. See you guys next time.